Hey guys, welcome back to Lindy Lou Productions. I just wanted to share a cool little video today with you about what it costs to have a horse. I'm just going to do the costs for one horse since that is all I have. I have had up to 5 at one time in the past. So basically just whatever I add up today times it by 5 because all of my horses usually costed about the same roughly. But anyway, yeah, so first things first, obviously the purchasing of the horse varies greatly, on what breed, what training level, like if they've shown, how old they are, how broke, whatever. There's so many different variations of that. And I'm sure you've heard the kind of saying that the purchase price of the horse is the cheapest part, which is so true, so ridiculously true. So there again, your monthly costs of a horse are going to vary whether or not you board it or you're able to keep it at your house. I currently am not able to keep her at my house. Someday I do definitely plan on making that, a possibility, but for right now it isn't, so she is boarded. I've always boarded. I've never been able to keep them at my house, so I've always had to pay board, whether it be on just one horse, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the number was. Obviously when you do pay board and you have multiple horses, whatever the board is, you times that by how many horses. Most barns don't give you a break. Some do, but most don't. So anyway, what I pay per month in board is $350 a month, and that is full care. That gets me her hay, her grain, her stall cleaned, turned outside and brought back in, water bucket obviously, so that's shavings, hay, grain, all of that stuff. So she's completely taken care of. She's turned outside, brought back in. They do have like a little outdoor outside for us to ride in. There's lots of trails on the property. So I do pay $350 a month for her board. And then I pay about $20 a month in supplements. I do get her Mare Magic, and then DAC DDA. It's almost like an ulcer guard type thing. It just helps them with any stomach issues they may have if they're not properly digesting their food. And Lindy is a horse that really benefits from this. I did take her off of it a couple months ago, basically just to see what happened, and within 2 months she was like, no, she lost a bunch of weight, her ribs, she was getting really ribby, lost all her muscle, so that proved to me that she needed to be on it. And then next, I would say I spend probably close to $50 a month just driving to the barn and then back home. I really only average about 2 days a week, so that's really not that bad. A lot of people go every day. Whenever I wasn't married and didn't have a baby, I did go 5-6 days a week. So, and she's only about 3 miles away from my house, so it could definitely be way more than that, if I was further away and went more often. But yeah, so I only average about maybe $50 a month. So monthly, just for her upkeep and to ride her, I do spend $420 a month. On a rough estimate, twice a year she gets spring shots and fall shots, and those average anywhere from like $80 to $100 each time, depending on what all I have the vet do, how many people are splitting the barn call, how many different shots she gets. So that depends. I would say $80 to $100, so roughly say $150 to $200 a year on her shots, just her general upkeep maintenance shots. Every 8 weeks, so every 2 months, we get the farrier to come out and he does just her front shoes. So he does 4 hoof trim and then her front shoes, and that's $70. And if I go and hold her for the farrier, it's just $70. If I have the barn owner or her daughter hold her for me, it's another $15. So it's $70 to $85 depending on whether or not I can be there every 8 weeks. And then every 3 months or so I would say probably 3 to 4 times a year, the horses there at the barn get wormed, which is $20 to $30 per worming each time. So that's multiple times a year. So I would say, I probably only spend about maybe $60 a year on worming her. And then lastly, I would say lessons. Lessons are $40 a pop. I really only try to take a couple a year, really, just because that's all I usually can afford. I have been trying to get around to taking more, but it just seems like my schedule and the instructor's schedule like never really line up. But that is something to consider in the monthly or yearly cost of your horse if it's something that you would be interested in doing consistently. So to add it all up and make a total for you as far as what you would spend in 1 year based off of my costs that I pay for one horse, you are going to spend $5,040 a year on board, and that includes board, supplements, and my gas time. So that's $420 a month times 12, so that's $5,040 a year on board, supplements, and gas. $60 a year on warmer. $200 a year on just like her fall and spring maintenance shots. And then you're going to spend roughly about $300 a year on the farrier, because that's $70 a pop every 8 weeks to get her shod and trimmed. So total for 1 year, I spend $5,720 a year on Lindy Lou Bird. So that's a rough estimate of what you're gonna spend. So I would say even like $6,000 a year if you have any extra things that, you know, like tack or lessons or anything like that. So I would say for one horse, rough estimate is $6,000 a year for board, maintenance, lessons, gas money, all the things that come with owning a horse. So if you're not prepared to spend that, then I wouldn't get a horse. I definitely, you know, would consider either just continuing to take lessons and pay as you have the money, or lease. Leasing is a lot cheaper. Leasing is a lot easier. Leasing is a lot less responsibility. So if you guys would like me to do a video on what it costs to lease a horse or what it costs to take lessons and show, please let me know, because I would love to do you know, both of those videos. I can make them all together in one or make them separate, because I do have 20+ years of experience behind me at this point, so kind of been around the block a little bit with it, and can give you guys my input. So anyway, that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.